A salad kit that was sold at Walmart's in West Virginia and 24 others being voluntarily recalled due to potential contamination with listeria.
That salad bag in your fridge might look clean, but inside could be bacteria, hidden allergens that can take you straight to the ER, and not to mention prison-packed greens. Stores keep selling salads linked to outbreaks, knowing the risks. Don't trust the label. Washed doesn't mean safe. And one bite from the wrong blend could wreck your gut. The worst offender? Walmart. Their salads might be cheap, but the risks they carry? No smart shopper should ignore them. In early 2024, Walmart's Market-Side Bacon Ranch Crunch Chopped Salad Kit was recalled nationwide. The reason? Listeria contamination from tainted cheese. That outbreak led to 26 confirmed illnesses, 23 hospitalizations, and two people because of a salad kit, and it didn't stop there. Just months later, another recall hit Walmart's Market-Side line, this time involving over 10 million pounds of ready-to-eat salads containing chicken. The supplier? Bruce Pack, a massive industrial producer, caught distributing listeria-contaminated poultry. That chicken ended up in Caesar kits, Santa Fe-style kits, Southwest-style kits, all pulled from shelves in dozens of states. But here's the part most people miss. Walmart's scale turns a single mistake into a national health crisis. When one of their suppliers slips up, millions of products are affected. And by the time the recall notice gets posted or buried on a back page, those salads are already in people's homes. Even the organic label doesn't offer safety. In late 2024, Walmart's Market-Side organic carrots were linked to an E. coli O121 outbreak. 48 infections, 20 hospitalizations, 1 all traced back to contaminated carrots sold as part of Walmart's healthy produce options. Turns out, organic doesn't mean immune. It just means people feel safer while getting sick. And what about the people who actually pack these salads? One of Walmart's key suppliers, Taylor Farms, was exposed for using prison labor to cut, sort, and package salad kits. Former workers described assembly lines inside correctional facilities where speed was everything and safety was secondary. One mistake, wipe it off and keep it moving. And these are the people preparing what you thought was the healthy choice. Walmart publishes guidelines on ethical sourcing, but when violations pile up, they keep buying anyway. Add in poor cold chain control, mass production shortcuts, and a relentless push for the lowest price possible, and you've got a recipe for disaster sealed in every Market-Side bag. The label might say fresh, but how fresh can it be when the system behind it is this rotten? If you're not checking every salad like it's evidence in a crime scene, you could be tossing a biohazard into your cart. And don't be fooled by the use-by dates. Contamination doesn't wait for the calendar. It sneaks in during processing, hides in sealed packaging, and sits quietly in your fridge until you serve it for lunch. By then, it's already too late. Because with Walmart's bagged salads, the real risk isn't what you see, it's what you don't. Bulk groceries, warehouse savings, trusted by millions. But when it comes to their bagged salads, Costco hasn't earned that trust. In February 2024, Costco became a key player in one of the deadliest listeria outbreaks in recent history. The culprit, Rizzo Lopez Foods, an industrial cheese supplier whose contaminated products found their way into everything from burritos to breakfast wraps to, you guessed it, bagged salads. Costco's chicken enchilada bake with salsa verde, pulled. Southwest chicken wraps, gone. And inside many of these products was the same deadly ingredient, contaminated cotija cheese. Listeria isn't just a technical recall term. It's a bacteria that thrives in cold, damp environments like salad kits. It can cause severe illness, miscarriages, and in this case, deaths. By the time the FDA issued the recall, the damage was already done. People were hospitalized, families were affected, and Costco customers were left wondering, why didn't anyone warn them sooner? Because here's the thing, most Costco members trust the brand blindly. They assume that big means safe. But behind that warehouse scale is a system that moves too fast to catch the problems before they reach your cart. Unlike traditional grocery stores, Costco doesn't display suppliers clearly on many of its ready-to-eat products. So even if multiple meals contain the same contaminated ingredient, the average shopper won't realize it until the recall is headline news. And when a recall does happen, Costco posts it on their website. maybe prints a sign near the food court, but they don't reach out directly unless you happen to scan your member ID at checkout and bought that specific SKU, meaning most customers never know. You might have picked up a salad kit last week, ate it already, without a clue that it was part of a nationwide listeria recall. No symptoms yet? Great. But listeria's incubation period can last weeks, and when it hits hard. Costco prides itself on supplier relationships, but many of those suppliers, like Rizzo Lopez and Taylor Farms, are mass manufacturers serving multiple chains at once. A single batch of contaminated cheese can end up in dozens of products across hundreds of stores. So while Costco's store brand packaging looks exclusive, the contents often come from the exact same factories used by Walmart and Trader Joe's. And when those factories fail, Costco's scale doesn't protect you. It magnifies the problem. Buying in bulk should save money, but with bagged salads at Costco, it might also multiply the risk. One bad ingredient, 4 contaminated meals, and suddenly, your fridge is a microbiology lab with bonus dressing. The label might say ready to enjoy, but after what we've seen, maybe it's time to ask, ready for what exactly? Now, you may think that switching to a nicer store will protect you, but think again, because Trader Joe's was caught in the same outbreak. Same cheese, same supplier, same risk, different branding, but that's all it was. While Costco delivered danger in bulk, Trader Joe's served it up in artisan packaging, with rustic fonts, playful names, and that warm, boutique feel that makes you feel like you're shopping smart. But the cracks go deeper than you think. In 2022, Trader Joe's workers across several states tried to unionize, demanding better pay and safer conditions. The company's response? Union busting, intimidation, and firings. Behind the quirky signs and frozen meals is a company that's been quietly silencing its own staff while keeping customers in the dark. So that friendly neighborhood vibe? It comes at a cost most shoppers never see. A dangerous blind spot, loyalty without transparency. Most Trader Joe's salad kits don't list co-manufacturers. That Southwest salad you love might come from the same facility as Walmart's. The difference is, Walmart lists it. Trader Joe's doesn't. They don't want you thinking too hard about where it came from. They want you focused on the cute packaging and $3.99 price tag. But underneath that folksy charm is the same industrial food system. High-volume suppliers, centralized distribution, and very little oversight when something goes wrong. And when you pull back the curtain, it gets worse. Trader Joe's also works with Taylor Farms, the same supplier exposed for using prison labor and engaging in union suppression. So, while your kale and quinoa bowl may look elevated, it could be coming from a facility where the workers making it are paid cents per hour, with no rights and no voice. Their packaging might say organic or vegetarian or pasture-raised, but their supply chain? It's built on the same shortcuts as every other big box store. Trader Joe's salad kits aren't always a hit, while some, like the lemony arugula basil and organic Caesar, get solid praise. Most rank as just average in expert reviews. And when it comes to safety, their practices are arguably worse, because they lean on image instead of inspection. You assume you're safe because the store feels ethical, but feelings don't stop listeria. And when an outbreak happens, Trader Joe's is one of the least proactive when it comes to customer warnings or recall visibility. You trust them because of the music, the handwritten signs, the Hawaiian shirts. But here's the hard truth. Behind the branding is just another supermarket. And when it comes to bagged salads, that friendly label might be the most dangerous thing in the fridge. Because while you're eating with peace of mind, you might be swallowing a problem they hope you never find. If Trader Joe's hides behind charm, Kroger hides behind labels. Big ones, bold ones, simple truth. Naturally better, honest to goodness. But when it comes to their salads, the truth isn't so simple. In early 2024, Kroger recalled its apple walnut with chicken salad kit, a product sold under its premium private label. The reason? Undeclared wheat in the dressing. Now, to most people, that might not sound like a big deal, but to someone with a wheat allergy or celiac disease, that simple truth could trigger a serious medical emergency. One bite is all it takes. The kit didn't come from a sketchy off-brand supplier either. It came from a Kroger-trusted, USDA-inspected facility, and still, no one caught the problem until it hit the shelves. That recall slipped out with little fanfare. Just a line in a weekly bulletin, a quiet announcement on the website, no front-of-store alert, no customer email, and no apology. For a company that markets transparency, Kroger has a recall visibility problem, and they've had it for years. Back in 2022, Kroger was also affected by the Dole-bagged salad listeria outbreak, a crisis that spanned multiple states and killed at least 2 people. Their store-brand salads, sold under Fresh Selections and Simple Truth Organic, were among those quietly removed from shelves after the fact. Again, No clear signage, no proactive communication, just a silent swap, hoping no one noticed. And if you're wondering where these salads come from, just like everyone else, Dole, Taylor Farms, Fresh Express, the same big suppliers, reused across nearly every major chain. The only thing that changes is the label. At Kroger, even the words organic and natural are used like safety nets, but neither of those terms guarantees freshness, traceability, or clean handling. Organic just means the lettuce wasn't sprayed with certain chemicals. It says nothing about how long it sat unrefrigerated, or whether it came into contact with cross-contaminated surfaces during processing. Meanwhile, Kroger continues to expand its line of pre-made salad kits: chicken Caesar, sweet kale, Thai chili, spinach strawberry, each packaged for speed and shelf appeal, not necessarily safety. And when recalls happen, they follow the minimum legal requirement for disclosure, nothing more. Which means for most shoppers, they're learning the hard way. A bite into a salad that causes a reaction, a stomach bug that hits days later, or a silent exposure they'll never trace back because the chain never told them. So the next time you pick up something from the Simple Truth line, ask yourself, is the truth really that simple or just convenient? Now, maybe you're thinking, fine, the big guys cut corners, but what about Aldi? It's the no-frills chain, right? Efficient, minimalist, supposedly obsessed with quality control. But when it comes to their bagged salads, things get a lot messier than you'd expect. In October 2024, Aldi was forced to recall a wide range of little salad bar kits after a supplier's chicken tested positive for listeria. Same outbreak, same contaminated meat, just dressed in a lower-cost label. The affected kits included Caesar salads, Southwest varieties, even some sold with organic markings. But the problem wasn't the label, it was the system behind it, one that rotates suppliers based on price. And when your supply chain is always changing, so is your risk. One week, your salad's from a processing plant in Illinois. Next week, Alabama. Then Missouri, a different plant, different safety record, different storage standards. And Aldi doesn't always disclose which supplier made what. So if a recall hits, you might not know your bag was affected until it's already in the trash, or worse, in your stomach. Earlier and scarier, in 2019, Aldi's little salad bar kits were swept into a Class 1 recall, the USDA's most serious level, after romaine lettuce tested positive for E. coli 0157:H7, a strain that can cause kidney failure. Over 75,000 pounds were pulled, but not before people got sick. Because when safety fails at the top, the danger lands in your fridge. And when you combine temperature swings, cheap packaging, and rotating suppliers, you get a product that looks safe, until it isn't. The packaging itself isn't helping either. Many Aldi salad kits come in thin, flexible plastic bags that don't seal completely. Some have dressing packs that leak, others have greens that already look wilted or slime-touched by the time you get them home. Shoppers have posted photos online of brown spinach, soggy croutons, and sell-by stickers that were days away from expiring, right there on the front of the shelf. And good luck getting help in store. Aldi runs a hyper-lean staffing model. That one employee stocking yogurt is also your cashier and probably your bagged salad inspector too. So if there's a broken cooler, a bloated salad bag, or a recall notice to post, there's no one there to handle it. This isn't about shaming discount stores. It's about understanding how cost-cutting behind the scenes can show up in your cart in ways you don't expect. Because when it comes to Aldi's salads, the price is low, but so is the margin for error. And when that error involves bacteria, refrigeration failure, or silent recalls, you're not saving money. You're just shifting the cost to your gut. And then there's Whole Foods, the premium pick, the health-conscious haven, the place where salads come with buzzwords like organic, local, artisan, and a price tag that makes you feel like you're buying something safer. But the truth? It's just better marketed danger. Let's start with where their greens come from. Because behind the sleek white labels and minimalist design, many of Whole Foods salad kits are manufactured by the same companies supplying Walmart and Costco. Yes, Taylor Farms again. The same supplier exposed for using prison labor. The same company accused of wage theft, union suppression, and pushing workers to ignore basic sanitation. And Whole Foods, despite its carefully cultivated ethical image, has kept them on board. So much for conscious capitalism. But it's not just the labor practices. In multiple independent audits, some of the pasture-raised and organic ingredients used in Whole Foods prepackaged salads were traced back to industrial-scale farms, places where hens barely saw sunlight, where the outdoor access was a small fenced strip of dirt, if it existed at all. And yet, the packaging still proudly proclaimed ethical sourcing. Because legally, a tiny door to a concrete patio counts as pasture access. And Whole Foods knows that most customers will never check. Then there's the freshness problem. You'd expect a premium grocery chain to rotate stock with surgical precision. But several locations, especially in high-traffic urban areas, have been cited for failing to pull expired or close to expired salad kits. Some sat for days past their best buy dates. Greens that should have been tossed were still on shelves, looking perfectly fine in sealed bags, but harboring potential risks inside. And those beautiful compostable-looking packages? Some of them aren't as eco-friendly as they seem. Investigators found that several Whole Foods locations were using cartons labeled as sustainable, but made with virgin plastic, not recycled material. A classic case of greenwashing where the image sells sustainability, but the practice doesn't follow through. Whole Foods charges a premium not just for food, but for trust. But when that trust is based on vague labels, opaque sourcing, and the same suppliers used by discount chains, what are you really paying for? Because a $7 spring mix with lemon vinaigrette still has to travel through the same industrial cold chain, face the same handling risks, and rely on the same overworked suppliers. And when something goes wrong, it doesn't matter what you paid, it only matters what they didn't tell you. Let's step back for a second, because if all this sounds overwhelming, it is. But that doesn't mean you have to give up on salad forever. It just means you need to shop smarter and know what signs to watch for. So here are the non-negotiables. 1. Check the temperature every single time. If the salad case feels warm, or if you see condensation inside the cooler, that's a red flag. Bagged salads are especially vulnerable to listeria, which thrives in temperatures between 39 and 41 degrees, and most store coolers aren't monitored closely enough to guarantee they're staying safe. 2. Don't trust Best Buy labels. Inspect the greens yourself. Flip the bag, hold it up to the light. If there's slimy residue, browning leaves, or excessive moisture, put it back. These are signs the salad is starting to rot from the inside, whether the date says so or not. 3. Avoid bags with blown up or puffed packaging. It might look like a seal issue, but it's often the result of bacterial growth releasing gas. That bloated bag, it's not extra fresh, it's spoiled. 4. Know your suppliers. Most salad bags have a small line on the back or bottom edge that names the producer, Taylor Farms, Fresh Express, Dole, and so on. If you spot the same names across different brands and stores, don't assume the packaging means anything. The lettuce inside may have taken the exact same path, from the exact same plant. 5. Cut your own greens when you can. Buying whole romaine, spinach, or arugula and washing it yourself might be a little more work, but it's usually safer, cleaner, and less traveled. And you skip the risk of pooled moisture, cross-contamination, and bad sealing. 6. Be cautious with add-ins. Kits that include dressing, cheese, or chicken. Higher risk. Each of those extra ingredients is another potential contamination point, and when multiple components are processed and packed together, even one slip-up can take down the whole bag. 7. Watch out for rotating supplier chains. Stores like Aldi or Dollar General switch salad suppliers based on bids. That means the safety and quality of your salad can vary week to week. If you can't trace where it came from, you probably shouldn't trust it. 8. And finally, don't let price or branding be your only guide. Cheap doesn't always mean unsafe, and expensive doesn't always mean clean. The most important thing is how the salad was handled, from the field to the plant to the shelf. And unfortunately, that's the part you don't see. But if you know what to look for and what to avoid, you can keep that bag of greens from turning into your next regret. Because a little vigilance now could save you from a very bad dinner later. We've peeled back the label, and what we found wasn't just bad lettuce. It was a system built on cut corners, invisible risks, and a disturbing silence when things go wrong. Every time you grab a bagged salad, you're stepping into a supply chain that spans hundreds of miles, dozens of hands, and, in some cases, zero accountability. The brands you trust, they're using the same suppliers, the same factories, the same cold chain shortcuts. Walmart, Costco, Trader Joe's, Kroger, Aldi, Whole Foods. Different stores, different prices, but too often, the same problems. And here's the part no one tells you. The biggest danger doesn't come from the salad you can see. It comes from what you can't. The bad batch that wasn't pulled fast enough. The bloated bag that sat in a warm cooler overnight. The contaminated dressing sealed inside and waiting to be mixed. And the silence when recalls happen, but no one tells you. Because silence is cheaper than action. But you deserve better than that. You deserve food that's safe, labels that mean something, and stores that care about more than just the price per pound. And while we can't always control what's on the shelf, we can control how we shop. Check your bags, know your suppliers. Don't be fooled by leafy promises wrapped in marketing fluff. And most of all, don't assume someone else is doing the checking for you. Because when it comes to safety, the truth is, no one is watching, unless you are. If this opened your eyes or your fridge, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more investigations coming that'll change the way you shop, eat, and trust the stores around you. Watch this next video for another dark side of a business you were never supposed to hear. Because behind the packaging, there's always more.